Hey testers, welcome back. This week we tested the OneShot Carbon Pro. This is their newest paddle and it is a foam paddle. I don't think it's full foam all the way through the core. I think from what I read, there's a little carbon or a little of the honeycomb kind of in the center with sort of some floating um, uh, foam on either side. But I will say I am not a foam paddle lover. I have never found a paddle yet that is like a foam or mostly foam that I have just really loved. So I'm super interested to see what you guys think about this one and if you kind of had the same thoughts going in and coming out of playing with this paddle. Just a note really quickly, we used the 16 millimeter. It was in the hybrid shape. And the owner of the company, who is a friend of all of ours because he lives locally, he had put a little bit of weighting kind of back on the, sort of the dip down to the handle. So he actually altered it slightly. Most of the time we play with him stock, but he had put a little bit of weights on there. And since he's the owner of the company, I thought we're going to play with how he likes to have his paddle set up. All right. So, and I also want to say one thing. I looked on their website. The colors they offer this in are awesome. Like if I go and buy one of these, I don't know what color I'm going to buy. Like I'm going to have a really hard time choosing. So I will say I really like the aesthetics of this paddle. But I'm super excited to hear what you think. I know Christine is super excited because she's been a one-shot player for a long time and she has played with several of their paddles. She had not played with this one until we tested it. So I'm going to kick it off with her and see what she thought about this one, especially compared to other one shots and then compared to other paddles she's played with. So Christine, share your thoughts with us.
All right. Well, hi, my name is Christine, and I love OneShot. I've been playing with OneShot paddles for maybe 5 years and probably gone through 5 or 6 different paddles. I do tend to prefer the elongated shape, so the hybrid I'm not as comfortable with. I did think that this one had plenty of power and plenty of control, good grit. Love the colors, love the look of the paddle, the feel of it. Right now I'm playing probably the best with the Arrow Infinity, which feels a little bit faster in my hand and is elongated. So the Fireshot Carbon Pro felt maybe a little slower for me, but great all around paddle. I loved it. It works with my swing style. I feel like OneShot, for whatever reason, it just always feels comfortable for me.
Good. Love that. Anybody else?
I'll go. Yeah, I did like it. I'm Candace, by the way. Had a ton of power. I did feel like it had a fairly big sweet spot, which is always nice. I did find myself, I had a hard time controlling a lot of my shots. So my shots were kind of, like spraying a little bit, which was not great. But I think if I had a little bit more time with it, I could learn, how it played and do a little bit better. It wasn't my favorite paddle, but I mean, I definitely did not hate it. So, I mean, I think I could grow to really like it.
Okay. And I will note, I mean, Candace, I know I play with you a lot. I know your game. I did feel like you struggled with this one a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I
Mhm.
sort of felt like some of the shots that I know you never really miss, you
Yeah.
sort of just were missing, not by a lot, but they just didn't seem like it was as comfortable as what you normally play with. Like they just weren't landing the way your shots normally do. And
Yeah.
I kind of remember thinking like, I don't think she's gonna say she loves this
Yeah.
paddle is kind of
No,
like my takeaway because I thought she seems to really be not struggling with it, but you just it didn't seem to be complimentary to
Wasn't
you
a
in the
natural
moment.
fit. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 and,
And I don't
we talk
know.
about first feel matters, and
Right.
so if this wasn't like again, it's all about picking it up and how much did you have to adjust, and I love hearing you say, like, "I would try it again and I could
Mhm.
adjust to it," but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to. There are other paddles that you
Right.
don't have to make those adjustments, and so,
And to
yeah, so
know, like,
I
for me, I don't know. I'm not like Lauren is, where I'm like I know all the ins and outs of
yeah,
every paddle. So for me to
mhm,
know, oh, it's because it's a mostly foam paddle, which I don't play with, or is it
mhm,
because it's a hybrid and not an elongated? Like, as far as that, I don't know. All I know is it felt a little bit off for me, but I did like aspects of it, and like you said, I
mhm,
I do think that it was not a great fit. But I think I could fine tune it for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah. So hey, I'm Lauren. I feel like for this paddle, again, I'm an elongated girly through and through, hybrid, always adjusting, never hitting the sweet spot. Sometimes that happens. I feel like serves look good, returns looked good. I feel like I had a lot of power and pop, but I didn't feel
Mhm.
like I needed to swing that much. And I'm again used to having pretty powerful and poppy paddles, just my play style. So that felt really nice, and the drives I felt good. I'm coming from an all foam paddle as my main paddle, so going to a Gen 3, like, Holly like, the Gen 3 core and, like, wrapped around probably it's probably EPP foam, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel like the touch didn't feel, like, super great on my hands, but again, it could just be just I'm not used to the shape of it,
Mhm.
but I felt like great top spin with drives, returns. I didn't have a chance to do, like, fun 2 things or speed ups just because I was really focusing on the shape of it.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think it's got a good whip. Yeah, I do agree with Christina. I didn't feel super fast in my hands, and I love my hands. Um, but it's pretty to look at. I think it's gonna pack a punch. Would
Okay.
recommend. Maybe not for me, but I would recommend.
Okay. I love that. And I should note the price point is about $200. We're
Oh,
at that kind of midpoint in terms of pricing. I kind of think 100 and under, is something, and then between 100 and 2, and then anywhere getting close to 300 is, I mean, there are paddles out there that cost $300, but whether or not you need to have one, I can't answer that for you, but we can talk about the paddles for sure. So, all right, Erin, what did you think about the one shot?
Um, I think it's a really fun paddle, and I do like the design, with the different colors. It was just fun, and I too wouldn't know what color I would choose. I like the hybrid shape a lot. I didn't like the weight of the paddle for me. That didn't work. It was a little too heavy for me.
Mhm.
Um, I have dainty arms, and
Okay. I like that description. Dainty arms.
oh my gosh.
yes. And
Ding.
so, I didn't like it at the net as much, but,
Okay.
it does have, control and power. It just didn't have the feel that I loved,
Mhm.
but I would play with it more, and definitely know, I could probably grow to like it or,
Mhm.
learn to use it better, but, um, yeah, I would recommend it too. I probably wouldn't choose it for myself.
Okay. So like I said, I kind of came in, I haven't found a foam paddle that has really lit me up. Like, I feel like with the foam, they tend to kinda just pop a little too hard off the face for me, so I just get less control. So I've always kinda stuck more with the Gen 2 cores, and I haven't really pushed into the foam core. I'm going to have to because I feel like every paddle company is pushing into foam
Mm.
cores, and so I think eventually we're not gonna have a choice but to start playing with foam paddles. But I have to say, this one is probably the first one that I have actually really liked, and it surprised me. It is heavier, I think, what than Aaron was saying, but I've always liked a heavy paddle because I feel like I don't have to swing as hard to really get more power, and so I can sort of ease up a little bit on how much I'm using my upper body and how much I'm having to work for
Yeah.
power, by just having that higher swing weight. So I don't mind a little bit heavier. I don't know that it sacrifices my speed at the net as much. Like, I still feel like I'm quick at the net, so I'm not sacrificing that by having a little bit of heavier paddle. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm just naive to that. I don't really know.
Delusional. It's fine.
Maybe I'm Delulu. I don't know. It's very, very possible. Because we're all 5-0 players in our minds.
Always.
I would love to try the elongated version of this. I
Oh,
really would. I have
yeah.
been playing with hybrid paddles, and so I didn't feel like I was missing it, but I really would love to try the elongated version of this as well. And so I hope to do that eventually and see, like, kind of talk about the difference between them. But I don't know, like, this one really kind of surprised me. It sort of came out of the woods and yeah, really kind of bowled me over. So for me, if I was gonna rate it, I would say this is love at first dink. Like I really enjoyed this paddle and I would continue to play with it. Absolutely. So yeah.
I would
Yeah,
be
I
interested.
loved it. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I would be interested to play with the elongated as well. And
Okay.
then actually move the weight. I tend to like a pedal that's a little bit more top heavy. So
Mhm.
I can kind of like get that whip coming down on it, with like an
Yep.
overhead and stuff. And I wonder if that would change like the control of my shots. Like if I could actually, form it a little bit better and have it not quite spray so much. But yeah, I would be interested in playing with that as well.
Okay. Well, if I get my hands on it elongated, we'll bring it to the next testing session. We'll all give it a try too. So, Christine, what did you think? Any last thoughts about the one shot?
Yeah, same kind of thoughts. I would definitely be interested in trying the elongated.
Okay.
I haven't used a hybrid, so I'm thinking that it took a little bit of adjustment for me, but the feel of the paddle felt like the other paddles that I've used. It had a lot of power, a lot of spin. So those were real positives. So I think I would love the elongated. I actually loved this one. So um
You
I
played
think it would
really
be
well
even
with it too,
greater.
Christine.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Christine,
Yeah.
lights
So
out, baby, lights out.
Yeah.
so
Hey,
and
if you're
and
playing lights out with the paddle, that makes you feel good. You know what I mean?
right.
Like,
Yeah, it just feels natural in my hand.
yeah.
So it's easy to use it. And as far as the durability, I mean, my experience with One Shot, it's been all of their paddles have really lasted for me. I'm still playing with paddles that I've had for years. So I love that aspect of it.
They're
So I
probably
would
illegal,
expect
but
that's where
just
I'm getting all
check.
that power.
Keep checking.
Yeah. Whoops. Shh. We
Oops.
won't we
Yeah.
won't say
And I
we said
just
the
want to
quiet
say
part out loud.
too, personally, I think the One Shot logo is the best logo on the market.
Oh,
Oh, all
somebody's
Come
fishing
right.
on,
for a
one shot.
sponsorship.
that's
Let's go.
bold.
Oh, come
That's
on.
bold.
Sponsor her. Sponsor her.
Love it. All right. Okay. Anybody else? Any last thoughts about the one shot? All right. Well, thank you guys all for coming on tonight and sharing your thoughts. And, for those of you who are tuning in and listening to us talk about paddles, I mean, we do this because, like, Christine was saying, like that, when you find that paddle that just makes sense in your hands, it can just make your pickleball playing experience like that much more magical. And so we're all sort of out there seeking that. And that's kind of why we put the paddle tester together. So, I'm going to encourage you to first subscribe to our channel and second, get out there, test paddles, and really work on finding your fit. We'll see you next time.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay.